Hey, how are you, Craig?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. So,
To their credit, they actually recognize this as their action. They're encouraging everyone to recognize
I have to say I was surprised.
In the Serb political structure, Kostunica, Nikolic, and so on. That is what they did. And the result is a significant heightening of tension. As recently as today, a group of Serbs marched on and seized a large building north of the Ibar River in Mitrovica. That is now the most explosive spot in Europe. That kind of thing could have been moderated by the Russians had they used their very real influence in the Balkans for a moderate rather than an extreme approach.
Let me go to Mr. Kosachev then. Let me put to you, I could see you were disagreeing.
I was under the bomb. The next thing was that Kosovars afterwards received a signal from the West. Look, sooner or later you will be independent. So please wait for your turn. And they had no motivation during these years. Some countries pretended that the negotiation process was going on. It was never going on because one part had no motivation for seeking a compromise. Sooner or later, independence would come. And it came, and this is an extremely bad signal towards all other people in the similar territories now thinking about whether to seek a compromise with a metropolitan country or not.
What I'd like to find out is the way things are now moving. Radek Sikorski from the Polish.
So, I think that, look, we were talking about Darfur. And this is much more important than talking about the past, sorry to say. But the future is the killing of the people right now in Darfur. Okay, we were not only working with the Russian, but they offer us helicopters for Chad. They are involved in this, the research, the looking for peace, etc. So this is a real asset for us.
Right, two more comments, please. One here. Again, the issue, whether you accept it or not, and the assumptions of the West about the kind of country Russia should be.
Well, I think that the so-called West has missed a unique chance in the early 90s to establish a completely new system of global security. The choice, there was a wrong choice made at that moment to continue with NATO enlargement, and by that the United States and their allies in the West maybe won Eastern, Central and Eastern Europe. They maybe are winning some post-Soviet countries, but they're definitely losing Russia.
But do you accept the kind of thing that Mr. Sikorski has just said, the kind of aspirations?
That context is of lesser importance. If what the new Russian Prime Minister might do is to modernize Russia according to our principles, rather than some kind of authoritarian model that obtains in other parts of the world, that would be a victory for the West.
Now, but I have to put that to you, Mr. Kosachev. You wrote in insertion now for the future Russia, please.
Well, we are absolutely sure that we are on the right way, and we will continue that way, definitely not being aggressive in our policy. This is not in our interest, but protecting our national interests the same way other countries do it.
Economic aggression, though? Political aggression?
Definitely not.
Obviously, it's energy resources. Russia has now reserves, is making investments, and I think it's in Russia's interest to reassure everybody that it is treating this as an economic project rather than as a geopolitical project.
Can you reassure us?
Because given the history of your behavior in my part of the world, you can't be surprised that we are nervous.
Can you reassure us, Mr. Kosachev?
Definitely yes, in case we will have a
common issues and work towards them. Maybe it was a function of the way this conversation was structured, but it seems to me more it's a mindset. Of course we have problems with Russia, and the Kosovo one was real, but we have far more common interests with Russia. By the way, Georgia's real also, and I completely side with the sentiments of the ambassador in that. But these are manageable issues, and they are second tier compared to the global problems which we simply didn't discuss today.
Do you think there's a mindset problem, finally, Bernard Kouchner, representing France? This issue